It's Eric Hammer here, the man with that. There you go. So today I want to talk to you about a product called Traffic Jeet by Cyril Gupta. It's a pretty cool new product that basically is designed to help you dominate YouTube videos. So, um, a little bit of housekeeping before we get into the review. If you're new to the channel, my name is Eric Hammer, and known as the man with the hat. And the reason I'm known for that is because I love to wear a fedora pretty much everywhere I go. I'm actually one of the few people who can actually pull one off. And so I do wear a fedora all the time. I also have my research library behind me. You can see it. I own over 1,000 books. This is my cat. She likes to photobomb some of my videos sometimes. So anyway, I own over 1,000 books, and I love to do research. I love to research for you, my loyal viewers, all kinds of products and help you to pick out the best products around. And the way things work basically is that I'm going to do a review of the product. I'm going to show you the inside, and show you how things work inside the members area of a product. And then after the review, I'm going to either tip my hat to the product creators. If I do tip my hat, that means that I love it. It's great. Go ahead and buy it. And you're going to be good to go with it. If I don't tip my hat, well, better luck next time. Now, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and smash that subscribe button down below. Hit the bell icon. I guarantee you're going to love being a member of my subscriber community here, because I put up tons of new videos all the time, and a lot of free content that you're not going to get anywhere else. And I think you're really going to enjoy it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at my review of Traffic Jeet. Hey, so as I said, I'm currently looking at a product called Traffic Jeet from Cyril Gupta. I've actually reviewed some of his products before, and basically, this is software that's designed to help you actually dominate on YouTube. Now, obviously, there are ways to do it without software, but it's a lot easier when you have software that actually does a lot of the work for you. So I want to show you quickly what Traffic Jeet can actually do for you. And give you some idea of what this thing is about. I do apologize about my voice. I have a bit of a cold still. So Traffic is basically 6 different pieces of software. So the first is going to be market research. The second one is going to be basically checking on YouTube keywords to make sure whether or not they're actually going to rank for you. Then you have add keywords, which are different from the keywords that you might use for your title, because if you're doing YouTube ads. Tube tracker basically just lets you keep track of most of your YouTube web videos and channels and things like that. Tag finder obviously is just what it sounds like. Basically, it'll help you find the perfect tags for any particular video that you're uploading to YouTube. And then finally, niche finder. Basically, what niche finder does is if you have some vague idea, it'll help you narrow down the niche that you want to go into. Now, couple of things about Traffic Jeet. First of all, it is a Windows-only program, which kind of gets me a bit annoyed as a Mac user. I am using this through a program called Parallels Desktop, and even on my very old Mac, it tends to work pretty well. So it's not a deal killer for me, but it's kind of annoying to me. I always prefer when there's something that has native abilities as opposed to something that I have to do it through a virtual machine. But anyway, let's take a quick look at a couple of these things. Most of these are not going to work, by the way, because I haven't actually set up my YouTube API. Basically, what that means is that this software has to directly connect to your YouTube account, which of course makes a lot of sense. And so what it would do is basically it would actually go into YouTube using your YouTube account and be able to pull in information based on that. I have not set that up yet. I just didn't want to be bothered with it for now for the purpose of the review, but I have been able to test out some of the features already without doing so. I just want to show you a brief idea of what it can do. So for example, you have YouTube best keyword, and basically what it's going to do as it loads over here, what you can do is you can put in any keyword you want over here. It's going to give you a score. And the higher the score that you get, the better the keyword is, but it's also going to have more competition. So, for example, if I put in weight loss, and I click find best keyword. Now, again, if I had everything already set up with my YouTube API, it would actually give me suggestions. But right now, all it's going to do is to go in and tell me what the ranking is for this particular keyword. It's kind of got this little countdown with the ABCs going on over there. So we'll just wait for it to complete, and then you're going to see what the score is. And the higher the score is, the more competition there is. Also, the more valuable the keyword is, of course. So, and boom, there we go. So, for example, weight loss has a score of 260. So let's say I wanted to narrow this down. Let's say I want to do weight loss for slow metabolism. Is that right? Yep. Okay. And so we're going to go through this again, and it's going to tell me what the score is for that. Now, of course, you don't want too low of a score, but you also don't want too high of a score, because basically, too high of a score means that you're going to have a ton of competition. Too low of a score means that nobody's searching for this particular keyword, and it's going to be useless to you to actually try using this particular keyword. So I'm just going to pause the video for a moment while this thing is running, so you don't have to watch me sitting here staring at a screen. Okay, so it came back, and my cat decided to join us. 0 count for weight loss for slow metabolism, so probably that's not a good keyword to be targeting. So let's take a look at some of the other features here on Traffic Jeet. 1 second. Where is it? There it is. And we can see that they also have like a tag finder, ad keyword research, tube tracker, all these kinds of things. Most of these are not going to work properly without my actually hooking up my YouTube API, which I really don't want to be doing right now. Not because there's an issue with it, just it's just not worth the time to take care of it right now if I'm just doing the review. But basically, you'll be able to see what it can do. So, for example, I can go ahead and import a keyword. I can also paste in keywords, or you can also, if you have a list of keywords, you can actually just import an entire list, and it'll actually give you all the rankings for it. It'll tell you about the competition. It'll tell you about how difficult it is to rank for it, how many views, how many comments, all that kind of good stuff. But it really has to have the Google API, the YouTube API, in order for it to work. So, but that's the basic concept of what it would do for you over here. And yes, I want to quit. Okay, and basically that's pretty much the concept here behind Traffic Jeet. And it's a pretty cool program. It's $21 to start out when it first launches. So definitely, price wise, it's a no-brainer to pick it up. So let's go ahead and take a look and see if I'm going to tip my hat to the product creators. So there you have my review of Traffic Jeet. And so am I going to tip my hat to the product creators? This was a tough one, actually. And I'm going to give a tip of my hat, but it's kind of a cautious tip of my hat for one reason. I'm not a big fan of products that are specific to one operating system only. I prefer it's either going to be cloud-based. That's the ideal, because then it works on any browser. Or if it's not cloud-based, at the very minimum, I would want to see something that has at least both a Mac and Windows version, especially in my niche and people who do videos a lot. A lot of us do use Mac as opposed to Windows, and yes, it's possible to use it in a virtual machine, as you saw me using it. But all things being equal, I will always prefer to either get something that's native to Mac, or that I could use as a cloud-based app, so that I don't have to worry about having to load up a virtual machine, which does take up a lot of resources on my computer. So, bottom line, if you're a Windows user, go ahead and buy it. It's $21. It's a no-brainer to pick it up. If you're on the Mac, if you happen to have a virtual desktop and you don't mind dealing with it being slightly slower because of the virtual desktop, then go ahead and pick it up, because again, it's 21 bucks to start out. That's an insane price for all the value you get from this thing. I think it's going up to $37 at the end of the launch. Even at $37, it's a very, very good deal. Um, if you don't have something like Parallels Desktop or virtual machine available for your Mac, um, then I say skip this one just because of the fact that you're going to end up spending money to buy a Windows license, you end up spending money to buy a virtual machine, and Traffic Jeet is great, but there are other products that are cloud-based or are native to Mac. If you have Windows though, or if you already have all those things, you don't mind the virtual machine, it is a no-brainer for $21. Even $37, it's a no-brainer with all the value that you're going to get from this product. So that's my thoughts on this. Tip my hat, especially if you have Windows. If you don't have Windows, it's a little bit harder to recommend it. There you go, and that's my review.